We have right with us now, he is the 109th, wow, mayor, that city's been around a long time, of New York, Bill de Blasio, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Mayor. How are you, sir? Great to meet you. You know the panel, I'm sure?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so you're from the greatest city in the world, is that correct?
That is exactly right.
You know, I lived in your city twice. And I grew up across the river. I liked a lot of things about it, but I never liked that we're the greatest city in the world thing. You know what? Because it makes everybody else feel like, what's wrong with us? Why can't it be just the greatest city for New Yorkers? Why do you have to be the greatest city in the world?
We're big, we're bold, we believe in ourselves, but that doesn't mean we can't love everyone else, Bill. Doesn't mean we can't love everyone else.
That's what got Trump elected. Okay, so you are thinking of running.
I'm not ruling it out.
Not ruling it out. Does it scare you that there's already so many people in this field? It's a very crowded field.
No, it's democracy. It's people with a lot of different experiences, views. People have a lot of different backgrounds. It's actually the Democratic Party at its best.
I agree.
There's something good going on here. You know, when it was the power brokers deciding who had a shot and who didn't, that's when we should have been upset. This is actual open democracy. It's anyone's ballgame.
I know, but I'm not running for president. You might be. That's what I'm saying. For you, you got to ask yourself, what do I got that the rest of these people don't got? What do you got that they don't have?
I'm not here to compare against others, but I'll say what I'm doing in my city because I think that's the important point. We believe in New York City that we have to be bold about progressive solutions, that we have to stop being apologetic. I'm actually quite sick of Democrats who are afraid to be Democrats, who are afraid to be bold and progressive. So, for example, last month I said, let's stop waiting for the things we should get from Washington, like Medicare for all, single-payer health insurance. Let's stop waiting. Let's guarantee health care for every New Yorker. We're doing that now. Every New Yorker will have a right to health care.
But that's New York. You know, I mean, look at some of the red state Democrats who win. There's not many. People like Sherrod Brown, right? Amy Klobuchar, Claire McCaskill until recently, Joe Manchin in West Virginia. They wouldn't say something like that, I don't think, would they?
Maybe they wouldn't have.
This play all over the country. Doesn't the secret to winning for the Democrat is you have to, the progressives and the centrists, and you have to somehow convince both of them you're talking to both of them?
I think that is a conventional wisdom we were all taught, and I think it was a lie.
Wow.
The centrists got us nowhere. And by the way, when it comes to the 2020 Democratic nomination process, centrists need not apply, in my view.
Wow.
The progressive wing is what's ascendant right now for a reason, because progressives provide an idea of the Democratic Party that's truly identifiable. The people will know. If you say we guarantee health care, if you say we're going to ensure that people have a living wage, we're going to address this madness of the 1% taking all the wealth and power for themselves. People know which side you're on. They can identify. The only reason Donald Trump had a chance in 2016 was that too many working Americans didn't know if Hillary Clinton was on their side. She tried to articulate a vision. I don't want to take that away from her. But people couldn't tell if she was a part of the elite that had caused their problems or if she was part of a process of change. What we have to do as Democrats is be so bold and so clear that it's unmistakable. Another example, in New York City, we are going to pass a law guaranteeing 2 weeks paid time off, 2 weeks paid vacation for every single working New Yorker. People need time for themselves and their families. Because people are working, they're working harder and harder. You see what's happening in our society. People are working harder and harder. They're getting less and less for it. We have to show people we're on their side and we're going to do something about it.
And this will, you think, change the view of people in the country at large about Democrats? Because just having a D by your name is so toxic in about half this country that they stick with a mad king like Donald Trump, or anybody. They will vote for anybody in at least 20 states if they are anything but a Democrat. Why is that? Why is the D so toxic?
Okay,
what did the Democrats do?
People,
why are they so obnoxious to people?
Well, I think Democrats lost their way as part of why they're so obnoxious to people, because it used to be the party of working people. It was unquestionably the party of working people. So when you think about the generations of Democrats, where did you get Social Security from? Democrats. Where did you get the 40-hour work week from so you didn't have to take your whole life and give it over to work 6 days, 7 days a week? Democrats created a lot of the actual decent benefits in our society, the way of living that people could have a middle-class lifestyle. But then, at a certain point, they started being afraid to pursue the next step and the next step. Today, in this country, too many people are not living a decent life. Working longer and longer, getting less and less back for it, paying their taxes but watching the 1% not pay their fair share. And people are upset about it, and they have a right to be upset about it.
All right, let me ask you about something that I care about, pot.
You, sir, are consistent.
Thank you very much. I like what you said. You said we have to make sure that those who bore the brunt of past burdens, we're talking about legalizing cannabis, reap the most future benefit. That means that a majority of the opportunity generated in this new industry must go to people of color. So this is like the way the Indians got casinos?
I hope it's better than that. I hope it's better than that.
Yeah, it'll be quite an industry. But that's what you're saying, is that we're going to, can white people get in this industry, or are they cut off?
No, everyone can be a part of the industry. I'd like to get into the industry
just a little bit.
Thank you for your contribution. It's not just about race. It is about an economic reality, too. So here's what I'm trying to say. For years and years, broken laws sent a huge number of Americans to jail.
Right.
Most of them were young people of color.
Yep.
And we've got an industry that now is just licking its chops, waiting to come in and corporatize marijuana, to do exactly what the tobacco industry did with cigarettes, to do exactly what the pharmaceutical industry did with things like OxyContin. And what we need is legalized marijuana without corporatized marijuana.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think that's possible completely. But I like the boldness of this. You're saying this is a great way to do reparations.
It's a way to say we had an injustice.
Right.
Now let's give the very people who are the victims the economic benefit.
So now that we're on a roll,
yes,
here's where I want to challenge you on what a lot of Democrats are, suggesting a lot of big-ticket items. Medicare for all, they're saying, would cost $32 trillion in 10 years. Mm-hmm. And it's always, well, then we're going to tax the rich more. You know that's not going to pay for $32 trillion. The rich already pay quite a bit. They should pay more.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you guys ever say we should cut the military budget in half? That's where the money is that's being wasted the most.
Okay.
Decouple the defense contractors from actually protecting the country.
Okay, so I agree with you that there's a huge amount of waste in the military budget, and I agree with you that we can find a lot of money in the military budget, but let me make the bigger point about taxation. There is plenty of money in the United States of America. There's plenty of money in LA, there's plenty of money in New York City. It's just in the wrong hands. That is the reality.
Okay.
And that means taxing the wealthy, repealing the Trump tax cuts and giveaways to the corporations and the wealthy. But look, if you had Medicare for all, then average Americans are not paying their premiums, their co-pays, their out-of-pocket expenses for health care, their deductibles. The idea of Medicare for all is, tax the wealthy as part of it, but also take away from people all those other expenses in their lives. If you ask them to contribute then to the costs of Medicare for all, it actually nets out in their favor. But yes, the military budget's another place we can save money because you know what? We're not secure if people in our nation are not living a decent life. That's the bottom line.
All right, I want to ask